Now, I had a problem. I actually got into a shoving match on a New York street.
Your ass into another guy's cock?
No, it was not that. It was... And I never get into a confrontation. I hate any sort of confrontation. I avoid it like the plague. There was this delivery guy, and he was bringing two giant poinsettia plants into a building, and he steps right in front of me and hits me in the face with one of these Christmas plants. So I was not having the best of days, so I took the plant and I shoved it back in his own fat face. Now, I was shocked at myself for even doing this. And then, of course, he turned around, and even though he had his arms full, he shoved me back. And I basically called him an a-hole, and then didn't know where to go with it from there. So just started telling him to go deliver his plants. Basically, that was the best insult I came up with, was telling him to do his own job. Just explain to him exactly what he was doing at the moment. Go deliver plants. Go deliver plants. I was really bad at this shoving match.
So that ended it right there?
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't walk past here in case he's waiting after his delivery for me. So I kind of left it at that.
Wow, Fez Watley.
But I just...
Wild in the streets. But what neighborhood was this?
This was Chelsea.
Poop. Chelsea?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
I was just out and about. Just out and about on a weekend. So...
So you got in a shoving match with a flower guy in Chelsea.
Right.
Which is, let's face it, the number one job in Chelsea.
Yeah. So I think I held my own for the most part.
Dick?
No. I just held my own in the shoving match.
Oh, because when I walk through Chelsea, double cuff the cock and balls. Wow, Fez Watley in a big fight.
Yeah, so that never happens to me. I was shocked that I did it after I did it. It was almost, I was like a...
So were you really worried that the guy was going to beat you up later?
Yeah, I was totally worried about that. I figured, you know what? This is probably a normal route for him. He probably delivers plants up and down this area all the time. So I figured, if I walk past here again, he could be waiting or making yet another delivery.
Why didn't you have a dance-off with him? Chelsea style.
He was not in the mood to dance after I pushed his Christmas plant back at his head.
Dave, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Fez, I just wanted to say, welcome to manhood. How's it feel? Now I just need a girlfriend for you. What do you say?
This sounds like this new Clint Eastwood movie where the old man in the neighborhood has just had enough of it all, and I believe he starts pushing back the plant guy.
So, I don't know if I would ever do it again, and I don't know what made me do it in the first place. I just hated that plant hitting me in the face. And the guy knew he had, gone in front of me, on purpose. He knew he was going... If he tried to go into that building at that moment, he knew he was going to hit me with a poinsettia.
Well, maybe he thought that you could stop. He had no idea that you're a victim of inertia. Cody, you're on Run Fez.
Fez, I think that the guy was just doing his job. You shouldn't have pushed him back.
The guy ran into me with a giant Christmas plant.
Oh, go do a radio show.
Put your headphones on and talk into a microphone.
See that part?
Radio man.
See, that part I didn't handle so well. That part was a little on the embarrassing side.
You don't have to be good in these situations.
But you never know. See, that's the thing.
See, I want to point this out to you. Doesn't matter who's right and wrong. You might have been wrong. You might have been right. I'm sure on some part of it you were right, and in some part of it you were wrong. But you just had a little moment. That's all. Everyone has these moments, and yet you've been yours has been haunting you.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever had one of these moments before. I mean, the only other fight I had been in, I had talked about, was the cane pole gang, and there was no shoving back on my part. So at that,
So you're 0-1-1 right now. You no wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. Because I consider this a draw, my man.
Yeah.
There was double shoves, and then some. Now, was this somebody of the Latin persuasion?
Yes, it was.
Now, I know what these tiny little Aztecs in New York look like. If this guy was 5 feet, I will be surprised. Here's the part that's probably going to be sad for you.
What's that?
I'm sure he didn't even understand any of the things that you said.
Oh, yeah. And, and I've got to, I guess.
But you are mean to help. I've seen you be mean to taxi drivers, and I've seen you be mean to waiters before. So I think this is not so much that you had a fight on the street. It's just that you're one of those Victorian-era white people who believes that you're better than the brown people.
That could be the only reason to explain my comments to him of go deliver your plants. And I probably, if I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have just yelled a-hole. I probably would have said the whole word to him.
Oh, you said a-hole?
Yeah, I yelled.
That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, that was, 2020 hindsight.
That. Yeah. So, Fez Wadley, absolutely in a draw. I am going to consider this.
You don't think it might be a win for me?
Well, you can't have a win if there wasn't an actual fight.
Right, and I mean, it was...
You pushed a plant. I can't give you a win for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that... It's actually worse than eating a salad, the fight that you had. It would have been more aggressive if you would have eaten a salad. Here is Chris. Chris, you're on Fez.
So Fez is hanging in Chelsea, and the worst thing that hits him in the face is a flower. Come on, Fez.
Here is Sean. Sean, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. Hey, Fez. Why are you hitting with your tulips?
You get that joke?
Yes, I got it.
What was it?
My 2 lips. I understand.
He meant your vagina lips. Here is Brian. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, Fezzy, don't forget you tattooed that little retarded girl. You got one victory out there.
Oh, yeah, you said you beat up a retarded girl?
Yeah, I hit a retarded girl in her fat stomach when I was a kid, when I was about 8 years old.
Now, was she fat or was there some kind of liver damage and you just hit her so hard in it?
No, she was fat. She was chubby all over. It wasn't just swollen organs.
Here's Mr. Butch.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I just want to know if Fez, do you think you would have got away with this if you didn't have this beard? Because if you wouldn't, you're like an instant fucking superhero now.
I will say this. The beard, Fezzy, makes you look like you just got off a whaling vessel. There's plenty of people who would go, well, he's psychotic with his beard and lifeless eyes. It's you're not somebody you want to fuck with because your eyes don't focus anymore. I guess since you started eating quarter hits of Valium. Did you have a quarter hit today?
No, I actually didn't take it today. Yeah,
you seem edgy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Before the show, you were all edgy, and you seemed like you were going to talk and then didn't.
Yeah,
you better had the Valium.
Yeah, I thought, you know what? Maybe it's making me too lethargic or something, or hard to concentrate.
How can a quarter of a Valium make you feel anything?
I'm very sensitive to pharmaceuticals. It really affects me bad. But with the beard, yeah, I am getting now. I was getting bad looks in public from my giant beard. Now I'm just getting the comments too. I was on a very crowded subway over the weekend. I got off at my stop. These 2 girls say, as soon as I'm passing them, they were already bitching about how crowded the train was.
Yeah.
And as I got off, they said, "Oh, thank God, there goes the fur."
John, you're on Fez. I doubt very much if that was directed at you.
I yelled back, "Well, there goes your bad skin."
Hey, Ronnie B, it kind of sounds like Fezzy might have perpetrated a hate crime against this flower guy.
It sounds like this is an economic fight here. And Fez is the rich, white, bearded, elderly woman who's picking on some guy who's making $2 an hour and then sending that money back to Nicaragua. Here's Robert. Robert, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, if a guy's got an armful of flowers and you're too intimidated to call him an asshole and you just call him an a-hole instead, that's not a win. That's a loss.
I'm gonna give him a draw.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna definitely give him a draw.
It's definitely not a loss. I mean, I got hit in the face with a plant, and I shoved it back. Now, yes, I got hit with the plant, and he shoved me, so it's basically 2 shoves to 1.
All right, have Hicks come in here and reenact this whole thing for you. So Hicks is going. I wish we had Bronx Johnny because he would be the perfect color and height for this.
That would be better for, the forensics of it all.
All right, now here comes Hicks. Yeah, he's carrying his flower. Where were you when this took place, Fez?
Okay, as the crime started, I was walking. I was walking south, and the guy cut in front of me. He had it. He had a plant in each hand, and hit me right in the face, like that, right in the face with the plant. So he has already crossed me at this point. Yeah, like that. So I took the plant, 2 hands on it, mind you, and shoved it back at his face.
I'd send me Davy McDonald. So now, Hicks, I want you to go back into slow motion. You're carrying the plant. Slow motion. Fez, you are coming in slow motion.
Uh-huh.
Now, Dave, I want you to stand over here as if you were the jury. Now, let me point out something. Notice where Hicks is. Notice where Fez is.
Yes.
This means Hicks's body is in front of Fez's.
Yeah.
Which means he's further on. You're a person who understands the New Jersey Circle,
right?
As well as a 4 stop, right?
Yes.
So, in the terms of if we had 4 stop signs here, Hicks would have been in front of Fez.
Yeah.
Fez coming in as a sign. Mm-hmm. To say that, Fez, the way you're set up right now, Hicks has the right of way. Now, let me point out another point.
You ran into it.
As you can see, he's got a plant in each hand.
Right.
Which means, how can he see to his right where you seem to be? You have full, dead-on, 2-eyed view of him. He would only have 1 eye on you, and that could be obstructed by a plant.
I am going to disagree with the point on him having the right of way. I was on the sidewalk. He came up off the curb from a jaywalking stance. He cut across the street.
But he can't see. All right, now it's fucking New York, and we're going to start on jaywalking. Anyone who fucking doesn't jaywalk in New York should be walking in Chelsea. So there's a word for it. And it's the worst word you could call a man.
So as he was cutting in front of me, he should have been able to see me coming. He was entering an already busy sidewalk without looking.
All right, I'll say this. I was the prosecution. I put out my case. I felt like I had it down. I'm actually using. Fez, as a defense, has come up with jaywalking. I'll now leave this up to the jury to decide. That's going to be you, Dave.
First of all, Fez, there are things called peripheral vision, and you did not demonstrate adequate peripheral vision. Secondly, the man who's carrying stuff always takes place. Always takes precedent. Whether he's in front of you, behind you, or on top of your head, he takes precedent. Thus, I have to find the flower man not guilty.
Yes. Now, let's also say this. Because even though you bumped into each other, right?
Right.
His seemed to be an accident. You pushing is the act of aggression.
Yeah.
We all share these sidewalks. There are millions of us that live in New York. Time and time again, we bump into each other. Why aren't the rest of us shoving each other's plants back and forth?
And if you're driving a car and there's a person who walks in the middle of the street or something, you are not legally allowed to run them over. Yes, they were in the wrong, but a cop's not going to just allow you to say, oh, you know what? He just ran the person over with your car.
And this is something else, too. So let's suppose that was a fucking car accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're in the right, you can't hop out and start putting your hands on the other person.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking act of civilized society.
Oh, I mean, I understand. I totally lost it. I lost my shit when this happened. But I'm sure that delivery guy saw me there.
He did.
And intentionally tried to cut in front of me.
All right. What would be in it for him?
He was in a hurry with his poinsettia deliveries.
So he wasn't out to hurt you. This is a man, an immigrant, doing a job.
But
you see what I'm saying? You're saying he intentionally did it as if it was an attack on you. Now you've changed it back when you've had the opportunity to think of it. Here's a man in a hurry to do his work. That's not the same. That's not what an a-hole does. An a-hole doesn't care whether he fucking delivers these things or not.
But he knew by being in a hurry and cutting in front of me like that, he was going to hit me. He knew he was going to run into me.
He wouldn't want to.
What's in it for him?
He didn't care.
No.
He didn't care that anyone got hit with those poinsettias.
If he cared about anything, it's getting to the fucking place with the plant safely, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So why would he want to be smashing that same plant into something? This will come out of his fucking pocket. I guarantee you. This poor little goddamn West Indies son of a bitch can't afford a winter poinsettia. Here is George. George, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Fez, I think you're in the wrong because the man's trying to do his job.
I mean, I was a flower delivery person.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, Ron.
I had no idea your background.
Yeah, and the thing is, we would never want to injure our flowers.
Well, it's the same way. Let's suppose you're a waiter. You don't want to smash into somebody with all those glasses.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. You're not going to get a good tip if you deliver.
Now, Fez, I want you to understand something. Even though you were in the wrong, I'm on your side because what do I give a fuck?
Uh-huh.
But don't think that you were in the right in attacking this 4-foot middle, Eastern person who was just trying to make a little money.
We're just trying to get $7. That's all we flower deliverers would try to do. We try and make it in America like everyone else, Fez.
And right. And here's the thing. I don't give a fuck, Fez. Sometimes you're wrong and you do wrong things. This is one of those instances. That's you. You're about to call people a-holes. But now don't act like you got the moral high ground. You do not.
Well, I sure violence is never the answer, I guess, but I just felt that I was shoving the plant back out of my face. I felt well justified in doing that as I shoved it into his face.
Yeah, I think I don't think you'd be in good shape in a court of law. Here is Pat. Pat, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, I think Fezzi's in the wrong, but the real question is what was Fezzi doing in Chelsea to begin with? Because if he wasn't there, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, that is a secret he's not ready to share. 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. As a matter of fact, Fezzi, I was very surprised by you last week. Somebody I thought would be perfect for you to discuss your secret with. You did not.
No, I didn't. And I thought about it, and I'm not going to say there wasn't a right time because that's just a cop-out. But I honestly couldn't find a right time. I couldn't get myself in that position to make it a right time. And I wanted to, and I thought about it, but I just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I thought that with you even coming back here that you would. I thought that was the reason for you coming back. John, you're on Run Fez.
How you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Fezzi, you were wrong. I mean, the guy would have been an asshole if he had, punched you in the face or something. He hit you with a flower. It's not really an act of aggression. It was a flower.
Yeah, at the very most, it's an accident, even if the guy's clumsy. And even if another person is clumsy. If Dave is walking around not being mindful, there's still no reason to be angry for him. It's not what we do in civilized society.
True.
Having said that, who gives a fuck? That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Right.
These things happen with me. I don't remember it. I wouldn't come back in here and fucking say this.
Well, he has very serious problems with personal space because remember, he also doesn't like it when people hit him with their book bags. He thinks they're doing it on purpose in the streets of New York City.
I don't know if it's so much on purpose. I just find those people to be of the rudest ilk.
But sometimes New York can get really cramped real quick on a subway, in the tunnels, and you don't mean to hit people because I hit people with my book bags all the time. I say I'm sorry, but if I hit you next time, I'm going to have to watch out for me to get a knuckle sandwich from you.
Well, I don't want you to live in fear, David.
No,
That's
I'm afraid
what this
of
is
him.
about.
I am afraid of him.
Now, I also want to point this out, and I have been going over week 10, Battle of the Beards, and I do believe Mr. Watley's taking a comfortable lead.
I see. I'm a marathoner. This beard, yes, it took forever to get it this gigantic, but once it's big, it gets enormous. And that's what I explained to people. That's why I didn't mind having Dave have a 3-week head start. I knew my beard would come through for me.
Well, I think even over the course of how long this thing went, the 3-week head start wasn't going to be that big a deal. Because you had a beard, but you were trimming it. So
yeah.
You didn't go from pure face.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
But
point.
I look over. Come on over here, Dave. I'm going to just grab your chin hair. Yeah, you don't have the side that he has. Now, you do have longer on your chin, but those fucking ham hocks that he has on the side now are just ridiculous.
They're taking on a life of their own. They're growing their own beards.
I believe he's got you now.
No, he doesn't. I mean, look, I'm not going to admit, I'll admit that his looks more impressive. I still think I have a bigger beard. It'll weigh more. When we weigh it on the scales, mine will weigh more. It
Now,
will.
when we shave this down, it's going to be from the top of the ear, mustache, everything goes, right?
Yeah, it's all included in the beard weight.
Yes.
Top of the sideburn there, wherever that would be.
And some, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then I guess bottom of the neck, Fez.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have them there, Ronnie. I have them.
Yeah, you do have some extra neck hair, but that's going to be very small amounts, I think.
That's very light, wispy hair.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to weigh all that much to make a difference.
But my neck hair is practically connecting to my chest hair.
Here is Rob. Rob, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about this delivery guy that he might have been in a hurry because, with a van, one more elevator ride could mean a ticket like $100, and that comes out of his pocket. So, he might have had a reason to be in a hurry.
Well, I mean, we live in a city of delivery people that have to get food places, they have to get office supplies places. In this building alone, if you sit out and have a smoke, most people coming in and out of this building are delivery people. UPS, you name it. A lot of these people are bike messengers. I understand that they're... See, here's my deal. I don't think that I'm more important than other people. You seem to have that thing that your experience is the central experience of the city.
Yeah, it turns out that service people end up being my nemesis. Yes.
I'm not just saying that, I'm saying anyone else's experience. It's very difficult for you to put yourself in someone else's place.
Oh, yeah.
Unless that place happens to be their ass. And then you put yourself there, you pull back, and then you start to just fucking hammer it home.
Back and forth.
Not what I do.
But
has nothing to do with this case.
See, when I was in the biz, in the flower biz, I had to get the flowers there as quickly as possible because there was another delivery man. So we were racing each other to get whoever got the most out would get the most tips. So these guys are in a fucking hurry.
Well, I will say this, because I'm doing the thing with everybody in the shop. First prize, it's a brand new Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
Second prize, steak knives. Third prize, hit the bricks. You're fucking fired. Everybody else gets fired.
That's a good policy.
Well, I got to play that way.
I'd be happy with steak knives. I would.
Mitchum and Murray from downtown have sent me up here. I don't know why they're wasting my fucking time and yours.
Put that coffee down.
You see this watch, Fez?
Yeah?
This watch costs more than your car. That's who the fuck I am, and you're nobody. You're a good father? Fuck you. Who cares? Dan, you're running Fez.
Hey, I'm going to have to stick up for Fezzy here. I think what he's forgetting to point out is that a poinsettia is a poisonous plant. That's assault with a deadly weapon, my friend.
Only ingested. Only ingested. You can touch.
Were you any? Was there any possibility you could have swallowed that?
No, it was wrapped up in plastic.
Okay, so
in saran wrap or whatever they wrap the plants in.
It's not saran wrap. He's very belittling to us workers.
I understand.
That's the problem. And we have to live with his insults. Now we have to live with his brutal violence.
Let me tell you something about, and I've known rich boys like Fez Watley my whole life. And these motherfuckers, they were born on third base and thought they hit a triple. That's the fucking problem with you, George W. Bush, and your entire ilk. Here is Joanna. You're on Run of Fez.
Hi, guys. I'm calling to stick up for Fezzy, too. He was absolutely justified in calling the guy a-hole. Even though we live in a city of delivery people, we also live in a civilized community, and the guy bumped him, and he at least owed Fezzy an apology.
Wait, you're telling me in a civilized community,
Yes.
the way to deal with two people bumping into each other is a shove followed by aggressive
delivery
profanity?
man said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
A, the guy doesn't speak English. B, he didn't even have the opportunity. And as far as we know, did he say anything back to you, Fez?
No, he mumbled something, but I have no idea what it was.
Could have been, I'm sorry.
When he bumped into you initially, he should have apologized. He knew he hit him.
He might not have.
He knew he was going to walk into me. He knew I was going to get hit with that plant when he cut in front of me.
You say that as if you are the center of the universe. Why would anybody who's delivering something, what is his goal to hit another human being? I'm not saying I give a fuck about this story. Right?
Right.
I'm trying to just get you to have some logic in your life. There is no upside in this. Now, if you were both going for the same chocolate egg, I might say, yes, he cut you off. He bumped into you. There's no fucking upside, Fez. Doug, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey there, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think gay people tend to be a little bit more defensive than everybody else. Maybe just because they've been picked on their whole life. I don't know. I find that a lot.
That's why I'm tired of talking about this fucking marriage issue.
And I don't know if the delivery guy was gay. That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, he's in Chelsea. I don't think they're only going to be gay down there. What are you going to do? Send a straight guy into that?
No.
That's like saying.
We won't go.
That's like saying, oh, I'm going to send my fucking pet steak into that thing of fucking lions. See how they're doing. Maybe you couldn't see him, Fez. Maybe you were covered in cum. You couldn't fucking make out, but looked like a blizzard to you.
I did not have cum screening over my eyes.
Here is Charlie. You're on Fez.
Hey, buddies. Hey, Fez, what's your little secret girlfriends think of it? Did you tell them?
No, I didn't tell anybody about that till just now on the air. I didn't tell anyone I was hanging out with in Chelsea.
Art, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Buddies. Fezzy, why are you wasting time calling the guy an asshole? You should have said...
Should have said what? Now we'll never know.
The mystery of it all.
You know what you should have really called him if you wanted to hurt him?
What's that?
A gay. Now, I know this guy who's a gay. And, oh, boy, is he flamboyant.
That
Ooh la la.
Hi.
Oh.
That wouldn't have been an insult.
Worst insult a man can get. Gary, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, buddies. First time, long time, first time.
Yeah.
Hey, Fezzy, if you were in the National Guard during the 60s and a flower child came up to you and put a flower in your rifle, would you blast him away?
Let me just say this, Fez. Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. This summer, I hear the drumming, and there's 4 dead in Ohio. That's how I feel about you, man. Now stop this crazy war and bring our boys home. And when they get here, let's all spit in their faces and call them baby killers.
Kind of a conflict there.
It is
now
odd.
that you think about it.
Well, I'll give you a little something about that. Do you realize that the spitting in someone's face, right, in the airport, and you've heard this tons of times, it has never once happened. That is a complete urban myth passed around from fucking hayseed to hayseed.
Wow.
There is no recorded fucking thing of anybody ever once that happened to them. First of all, hippies are going to take on a Marine. It ain't going to fucking happen. And a Marine is going to sit there. You just got back from Vietnam and you're going to let some motherfucker spit on you. It ain't going to happen. So that's never happened. It gets fucking passed around. Here's another urban myth that's going around in the village right now. And this supposedly has happened in Union Square. And I believe the Page 6 magazine did a story on this. You're walking through the park down there. A man comes up behind you, and he puts those, like, hands over your eyes to say, like, guess who?
Uh-huh.
Like, guess who it is? Mm-hmm. You turn around, and it's Bill Murray. And he says, now, no one's ever going to believe this. And he turns around and walks away. This fucking story is going around.
How crazy it is.
And it seems to come out of the, Bill Murray is crazy, since he seems to be in this midlife thing.
Yeah, but
everyone's saying, oh, yeah, this happened to a cousin of mine.
Just makes him look like one of those crazy old mobsters who used to walk around in bathrobes.
There's only been one.
There's a couple.
No, one. It's only happened one fucking time, and the guy never was crazy. That was just his gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
Gary, you're on Fez.
Hey, I think Fez is in the right because that little watermelon piece of ocelot shit shouldn't even be in the United States.
Thank
let alone
you.
in Chelsea.
This is what this comes down
Fez
to.
has every right to be in Chelsea, as we all know.
This is what this is all about, Rush Limbaugh. You and Lou Dobbs want a lily white Chelsea.
This is not about illegal immigration at all. This is about a rude person, no matter what his background is.
Going to Chelsea, where he doesn't belong, doing God knows what, every Sunday. And why are you a Sunday morning Chelsea? What happens there?
I'm just meeting some people. Just meeting some friends there.
Are you there on Saturday?
No, I'm not.
Or are you there on Friday?
No.
So even with your secret, you're an odd, anal, fucking no fun guy.
XM202, Ron and Fez. XM202, Ron and Fez. Fuck Opie and Anthony.